We go. Here we go. Audio is set. There we go. So, so that first minute, guys, I am sorry that there was no audio. Again, I'm still getting all this just in order for place. But yeah, what's going on in the crypto space today, guys? I really don't know. I'm getting caught up. I really don't know what's happening with Trump and Elon. They were all over Twitter last week. That definitely caused a shakeout in prices and everything going on. So I just had no idea really what to do with a cover this. I didn't really want to cover this article just because we still don't know the full picture. Just Trump and Elon been having a heated discussion during the week about what I don't know. Elon left Dodge and whatnot. So I'm just gonna wait till I get a full story to cover what happened, what went down, and then how did prices get affected from it. So this is just a sit and wait game on that one. But what else is going on in the crypto space? We got Strategy, of course, adding more Bitcoin, another 1,045 Bitcoin to its balance sheet. So, yep, that's causing the price to go up still. So just getting more and more news articles about all of that is just why prices are going up. Again, Bitcoin is currently at, what is it, 108 right now? Let's take a look. We are at 107.93. So we are literally touching that 108 level. Why does it always give me the year chart? So yeah, so prices have been moving over the weekend. Let's see where we're at. We had that little dip, right here. This dip right here was because of Elon Musk and Trump and all that crap going on there. So it looks like it recovered nicely and quickly. People didn't fall for it. They didn't get scared out, shaken. They bought the dip, and now we're seeing the prices become a bit. But yeah, let's go through the news, guys. Sorry for that first minute again of dead silence. I was getting my mic all together, but let's go through the news and let's talk about how Saylor's saying that the Bitcoin quantum threat is a ploy by yo-yo token sellers. So, okay, so let's hear a little about this because the quantum threat with quantum computers is a big thing out there. People are worried. They're going, oh, is our crypto going to be safe to quantum computing and whatnot? It's going to be fine, guys. Just with the risks out there, we got the defense going on the quantum side as well. But let's hear what Michael Saylor has to say about just the quantum play and the threat going on. So Strategy's Michael Saylor says, even if a legitimate quantum computer threat emerged from a tech giant, it won't be released. Now, Bitcoin bull Michael Saylor has downplayed concerns over quantum's computing impact on Bitcoin, calling it a marketing ploy to pump quantum-branded tokens. Now, it's mainly marketing from people that want to sell you the next quantum yo-yo token strategy, Executive Chairman said in a June 6 interview on CNBC, the Squawk Box. Now, quantum computing's potential impact on Bitcoin has been labeled as a significant threat to the Bitcoin security. Now, according to a quantum computing research firm, Project 11, 10 million Bitcoin addresses have exposed public keys, and more than 6 million Bitcoin could be at risk if the machines become powerful enough to crack the Bitcoin elliptic curve cryptography keys, otherwise the ECC keys. Now, but even if a legitimate quantum computer is a threat, or the quantum computing threat emerged from a tech giant, they wouldn't release it, as to do so could put their business and even the US government at risk, said Saylor. Now, Google and Microsoft aren't going to sell you a computer that cracks modern cryptography because it would destroy Google and Microsoft and the US government and the banking system. Now, Natalie Brunelli chimed in and said, for anyone concerned about quantum computing, hacking, Bitcoin, please listen to Saylor calmly and rationally explain why you should sleep soundly at night. Now, we could listen to this right now, but it's about 3 minutes. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Grant, let's hear Saylor, what he has saying. We get a description. Bitcoin would just need to be upgraded. Okay, so we don't need to watch it. Let's just go through what he would have to say. So Bitcoin would just need to be upgraded, said Saylor. So in that 3-minute little short video you can watch on the CNBC Squawk Box, he just says if a legitimate quantum computer did come along and threaten Bitcoin security, the protocol's core developers and hardware manufacturers would just implement a fix, Saylor said. The answer is the Bitcoin network hardware upgrade and Bitcoin network software upgrade. Just like Microsoft, Google, and the US government upgrade, we're just going to upgrade the software. That's it. So there's really nothing to worry about when it comes to quantum computing. It's just oh, there's a threat. Well, yeah, we just upgrade the software. That's simple. We do that with our everyday computers out there. So Saylor added that it is 10,000 times more likely that someone would lose their Bitcoin to a phishing attack than the quantum computing. So it makes sense. Now, it's the hardest thing in the universe to hack, said Saylor, adding that they will hack your banking system, your Google account, your Microsoft account, and every other asset you have much sooner because they're an order of magnitude that's weaker. So yeah, if quantum computing comes out, expect your bank account, Google account, Microsoft to get hit first before your Bitcoin wallets do, because it's just they have the weaker security of it. But the quantum's threats of Bitcoin is already being put to the test. Project 11 launched a competition in April to see who can crack the biggest chunk of Bitcoin key using a quantum computer over the next year. Now, Project 11 said that the purpose of the Q-Day prize is to test how urgent the threat of quantum is to Bitcoin and to find quantum-proof solutions to secure Bitcoin over the long term. Now, Cointelegraph's Insight, BlackRock issues a rare warning about the quantum computing threat to Bitcoin in the latest iShares Bitcoin Trust filing. And the world's largest asset manager warns quantum tech could undermine the viability of Bitcoin's cryptographic systems. Now, here was BlackRock's warning. Now, if quantum computing is able to advance in the way that there is a risk that quantum computing could result in the cryptographic underlying the Bitcoin network becoming ineffective, which, if realized, could compromise the security of the Bitcoin network or allow malicious actors to compromise the wallets holding Bitcoin owned by the trust or others on the Bitcoin network, which will result in losses to shareholders. So it's just a loss if this did happen, is what they're saying. Now, IBM and Google's quantum computers are still way off from threatening Bitcoin. The current estimates suggest that around 2,000 logical qubits, or error corrected, would be enough to break a full 256-bit ECC Bitcoin key. Now, the Project 11 noted that IBM's Heron chip and Google's Willow can currently do 156 to 105 qubits, far off causing any real threats of Bitcoin, but significant enough to cause concern, Project 11 said. So in order to really crack that Bitcoin, you need 2,000 logical qubits, while the current top chips we got are only covering 156 or 105. So it doesn't mean that they're not being upgraded, like just how advanced like technology booms. Like that just makes me think like, okay, they're only solving this power, or they can solve up to this units. And I'm just thinking, kind of reminds me of the memory cards we had back in the day, from floppy disks to little SD cards to being like the 30 megabytes to gigabytes to terabytes. It just kept expanding. So we will get there. But again, if we get to the point where quantum computing becomes a threat to Bitcoin, we're just going to upgrade the software. That's it. So there's really nothing to worry about if you hear anything about quantum computing. So that's what Michael Saylor has to say about that, and I totally agree with it. So that was our first, actually, real news article we covered today. Now let's go on to our next article, which I heard from actually the Modern Investor over the weekend when I was at the gym. I was like, ooh, this is a good article. How did I miss this one? But Ethiopia is leveraging hydroelectricity to generate revenue through Bitcoin mining. And the craziest thing is, it's producing 1/5 of their revenue by using this excess renewable energy to mine Bitcoin. So it's crazy to think 1/5 of their revenue is coming from Bitcoin mining. So let's go through this article and learn a little bit about it. So Crypto Daily, the Ethiopia is leveraging its hydroelectric power through the Grand Renaissance Dam to power Bitcoin mining and generate 18% of the country's revenue from digital assets. Now, Bitcoin mining is being fueled by renewable energy in Africa, helping spur economic growth and fund important conservation projects like the one in Virunga. Now, Ethiopia is using Bitcoin mining to generate revenue. Close that out, is using Bitcoin to generate revenue. Ethiopia is leveraging its enormous hydroelectric power grid, primarily from the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, for Bitcoin mining. Now, this has helped the country generate 18% of the Ethiopian electrical power income from Bitcoin mining, turning idle energy into a profitable asset at a staggering $1 billion. And that has been spent on the mining in the past year, significantly more than the earnings from the electrical exports. Now, Africa's crypto power play, where energy meets the blockchain. Africa's got the juice and crypto's tapping in. Ethiopia's Grand Renaissance Dam is flipping unused power into digital gold, with 18% of Ethiopian electric power cells now coming from Bitcoin mining. That's $1 billion invested in a year, outpacing exports to neighboring countries. Elsewhere, mining is funding real impact microgrids, lighting up rural Kenya in Zambia. And even Virunga Park in the DRC is mining crypto to bankroll conservation. Africa, keep your eyes on its crypto space in 2025 because you're probably going to be seeing a lot more of this happening. Now, Ethiopia's energy strategy. Ethiopia has secured agreements with over 25 mining businesses, allowing the government to generate millions of dollars in just a few months. Now, the agreements have attracted several international miners to the country and helped to generate revenue from its excess electricity. Now, Ethiopia's electricity tariffs are among the most competitive globally, a big draw for miners looking for reasonably priced locations for their Bitcoin mining operations. As a result, Ethiopia has established itself as a leader in Bitcoin mining activity, attracting a flood of investments, particularly from the Chinese miners following the ban in China. So again, when China banned crypto mining, those guys just looked for bordering countries elsewhere, and they're still looking too. If they didn't just jump up back or pop back up on the system, mining, energy, and whatnot. So those people are still mining over there. So it looks like a lot of those followings moved over to Africa. Now, the country has emerged as a hub for Bitcoin mining, having generated over $55 million in 10 months. The remarkable growth and financial return can be attributed to the country's abundant energy resources. Cal Kasa, founder and educator at the Bitcoin Burr, stated that Ethiopia is becoming a major hub for Bitcoin mining due to our extreme competitive electricity prices. At just 3.2 cents a kilowatt per hour, our electricity is much cheaper than many other parts of the world. And that's true. 3.2 cents, how much is it in California? Let alone, I'm just doing that. Let's see. How much is electricity in California? I'm just choosing the highest, most expensive state. 30 cents per kilowatt hour. Do you see that? 30 cents per kilowatt hour versus Ethiopia only spending 3.2 cents. So this really does, if you want to be a Bitcoin miner out there, you really got to pay attention to electrical costs. If you're spending 30 cents, it's not ideal for you to run an ASIC miner, getting a miner farm out there. It's ideal for you to have a little just miner on your desk that you can just place there, do a little bit of hashing and mining out there. But when it comes to the full-on mining, it just doesn't make sense. So if you are getting mined, you got to pay attention to what the electrical cost is. But renewable energy and Bitcoin mining are making a difference. Combining Bitcoin mining and renewable energy and its initiatives have also had a profound impact on the environmental and socially. That microgrids running on renewable energy have been supplying electricity to rural communities in Kenya and Zambia, enabling developments in highly neglected areas. Now, the famous Virunga National Park in the Democratic Republic of the Congo is using Bitcoin mining to support environmental projects. Virunga makes a significant monthly income through hydroelectric power and uses it to support local businesses, pay staff wages, and maintain the park's infrastructure. Now, several countries are using Bitcoin mining for the transformational purposes. This highlights how renewable energy sources combined with Bitcoin and crypto mining operations could help achieve economic development. Now, as these operations develop and grow, they demonstrate the influence of Bitcoin mining on green energy and economic policy. So that's what's going on in Ethiopia over there. I thought that was just pretty cool. It's 1/5 of their profits are coming from the Bitcoin mining, and they're using reusable energy as well for it. So I thought that was pretty crazy. And again, the article said, keep your eyes on Africa because they have access to very cheap electricity, and they could be benefiting a lot from this. So we're going to keep our eyes on that. I'll keep you posted on it. And let's continue on with the news. What else do we got going on for you? Well, let's see. The world governments are issuing more debt than ever. Will this benefit Bitcoin? Let's find out in this article from Crypto Potato. So the global government bond market is flashing warning signs with record issuance colliding with a falling demand. So world governments are issuing more debt than ever, commented by the Kobesi letter over the weekend. Now, global sovereign bond issuance hit a record $18 trillion last year, and $16 trillion of that debt was issued by developed countries. Additionally, global government bond issuance has nearly doubled since 2019 on an unsustainable debt trajectory, it noted. Now, historically, public spending on social programs and defense, new tax and spending policies, as well as elevated interest rates have been behind this massive surge. Now, here is the Kobelski letter. The world governments are issuing more debt than ever. Global sovereign bond issuance hit the $18 trillion in 2024. $16 trillion of debt was issued by developed countries and $2 trillion by emerging market economies. Now, the world government bond issuance has nearly doubled, showcasing that right now. Now, more debt, more bonds. Government bonds are a way for nations to raise money by issuing interest earning debt. Securities finance public spending, and as debt surges, more of it is needed to be refinanced, which means more bond buyers are needed, which puts pressure on the bond market if there are no people buying the bonds. Now, on June 6th, the Financial Times reported that investor demand for the long-term government debt is weakening, as evidenced by recent auctions of a 20-year bond in Japan and the US, which were poorly received, triggering sharp price drops and rising yields. Now, prominent investors such as BlackRock's Larry Fink and billionaire hedge fund manager Ray Dalio warned of unsustainable deficits, especially in the US, which is considering a $2.4 trillion debt increase, prompting fears of the path to insolvency. Now, long-term bond yields serve as benchmarks for corporate debt, and higher yields will raise borrowing costs for businesses, risk growth, and additionally, a debt market dominated by hedge funds and short-term players may become more volatile. Now, will Bitcoin be the beneficiary of all this? I don't know. Well, a store of value assets like Bitcoin could benefit significantly from the unfolding global bond market strain and loss of faith in the sovereign debt. If the government debt becomes less attractive due to high yields, poor auction performances, and credit rating downgrades, investors may seek alternatives to store their capital. So governments may also increasingly rely on inflation to erode the real value of debt, and BTC has often been considered an inflation hedge. Being non-sovereign and decentralized, Bitcoin also offers a parallel financial system that is immune to political manipulation or debt monetization. Now, as the country and investors diversify away from U.S. treasuries and the dollar, Bitcoin could also be part of a new neutral reserve asset basket, especially in emerging markets. The asset was holding steady at around 105,000 at the time of this writing, having recovered from its Friday dip that we saw from 101, but has gained over 50% over the last 12 months. So it's still doing pretty good if you look at the last 12 months chart, like right over here. Let's go back over to CoinMarketCap if it loads, so 12-month, 1-year mark. So if we're at the 1-year mark, we're still up 50% since the year to date. So not bad. So I don't think we're in a pretty bad position at all if you hold on to Bitcoin. But that's what's going on with the debt market right now. It keeps increasing, but Bitcoin might be actually benefited a lot from it, because with the bonds, like, just people aren't going into it. They don't see it as a safe haven, or they can't see like the earnings based off of it. They are going to move into Bitcoin, and that's what they could move into Bitcoin, which is what we are seeing right now. So that's what's going on over here in this space. Now let's take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back after these ads.
Attention visionaries and pioneers, the future of wealth is here, and it's spelled Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Introducing the exclusive Loans for Bitcoin program at the Bitcoin Bend Crypto Club, where your good credit unlocks 0% interest loans for up to 2 years, or term loans up to $250,000 spread over 7 to 12 years. Why wait? Use this capital to acquire the world's fastest appreciating asset, Bitcoin. With prices hovering around 94,000 and projections aiming much higher by the year's end, the time to act is now. Leverage isn't just for Wall Street anymore. Arbitrage the low cost of your loan against Bitcoin's explosive growth. It's smart finance for the modern investor. And privacy matters. Our no KYC Bitcoin purchase program ensures you buy and self-custody your assets in your own wallet. Your keys, your Bitcoin, your future. And as the world shifts to digital currencies, be ahead of the curve front-run corporations, governments, in this greatest financial revolution of our times. I'm Jay Bose, CEO of Bitcoin Then Crypto Club. Call or text us today at 941-413-6920 and get started on that loan application. Secure your legacy. You will thank yourself tomorrow.
And we are back. All right, let's continue on with the news because I just totally forgot. I got to be out there. We're moving our ATM machine up to the front now, so I got to be sure I'm here when Byte Federal shows up. So let's continue on with the news. Like, what's going on in Bolivia? We are starting to see price tags on the retail stores showcasing USDT stablecoin prices now. So that's right. We're seeing prices in actual crypto versus the local currency. So let's go through this article to see about it with some photos too. So Tether USDT stablecoin is seen in Bolivian store price tags. So yeah, Tether CEO Paulo Arduano shared images of the Bolivian duty-free goods priced in USDT, suggesting that stablecoin's growing role as a reference currency in a struggling economy. So, So Tether CEO Paulo Arduano has shared photos of goods in a Bolivian airport shop priced in the company's stablecoin, USDT, suggesting growing unofficial use of the cryptocurrency amid the country's ailing economy. Now, in Saturday's X post, Arduano shared images of the items being priced in USDT in Bolivia, including sunglasses, sweets. One photo showed a notice to customers that prices were set in USDT. Now, our products are priced in USDT Tether, a stable cryptocurrency with a reference price informed daily by the Central Bank of Bolivia, based on the rate from Binance, a cryptocurrency trading platform, the notice read. Now, the notice said customers could pay in either local fiat currency, Bolivianos, or US dollars. And, well, USDT was used to establish the dollar of the Bolivian's exchange rate. So here are some of those photos we can see. So we got Oreos, 10 USDT. We got dairy milk, 10 USDT. Even some sunglasses right there. You can see some USDT out there as well. So yeah, it's starting to, that's pretty cool. I thought that's pretty cool that we're seeing that. But USDT is making waves in Bolivia. The notice and the items were photographed at Duty Fly, an airport shop offering duty-free items to its customers. Neither Duty Fly nor Tether responded to Cointelegraph's request for comment. Now, it's unclear how widespread the use of USDT is as a pricing benchmark across Bolivia, but other reports suggest that the stablecoin is gaining considerable popularity in the country. In late October 2024, major local bank Banco Bisa began offering custody service for USDT, stating that it would enable its clients to buy, sell, and transfer the assets through the bank. Now, Bolivia's economy is in crumbles right now. Bolivia's economy has been in a steep decline. The country's usable foreign reserves fell from 15 billion in 2014 to 1.98 billion in December 2024. Equivalent to only 2.9 months of imports. Of that amount, less than 50 million was in cash and the rest was in gold. Now, Bolivia has a thriving market for dollars, with the street rate reaching about 10 Bolivianos per dollar as of mid-2024. Now, the current official exchange rate is approaching 7 Bolivianos per dollar, so that's still just going down. Now, the Bolivian government also spends about $56 million per week importing diesel and gasoline, yet it still faces nationwide shortages. The local consumer price index stood at 14.6% as of March 2025, and one of the photos shared by Arduano showed a pack of Oreos priced between 15 and 22 USDT, underscoring the rapid erosion of the local currency's purchasing power. So did we get another photo of that changing? Let's see. So no, as of right now, it's still showing USDT, but as prices, keep changing out there, it could be fluctuating out there. So yeah, so this is why you guys need some Bitcoin to kind of hedge against this right now. If you're holding on to, like, even if it's a US dollar, this could happen to it. So it's always good to, that's why I love the Bitcoin standard. I only keep dollars for what I need to pay bills on. But that is it. And let's see. Cash. Yep. Okay, I gotta get to that later. Busy day here at the club, but no, I thought this is pretty cool here. It's just seeing Tether like soon, just in the pricing out there. And it's like I wonder what's going to be next. Is it going to be where did I totally lost my train of thought? Well, I just thought it was cool. That's what it was. I thought it was cool seeing like the pricing in a cryptocurrency tag. I'm really looking forward to when we start seeing Bitcoin price tags on these items. So that's going to be my next big whoa, because it was actually pretty cool when you actually get to spend Bitcoin. I did that this weekend. I went to Steak and Shake. I used my Moon wallet on my phone, spent at least $25 or 9,400 or 940 Satoshis. And yep, I got my hot dog, hamburger, chili fries, chicken strips. I just tried it all. I was like, okay, what do I want to get there? And then I may need to take a peptide shot again soon just to curb that appetite. But no, it's cool seeing more and more business offering cryptocurrency as a use case. So just seeing on the pricing, it's like, you want to pay in crypto? Go for it. So I love seeing more and more news about that. Now let's continue on with, I don't really need to cover this article, but I thought I'd bring it up. Like, would you ever live stream your child's birth on the Solana Pump.Fun channel? Would you? And then name your kid Solana? Well, that's what this one dad did, and I really don't want to read this article. But dad live streams birth of baby Solana to pump meme coin. Then it got weird. So the birth went just fine, but the meme coin, there were complications. So just in brief, in Washington, D.C., a couple welcomed their daughter into the world on a Pump.Fun live stream with the launch of the Prego Wife meme coin. The dad said he wants to do something historic by making his daughter the first person born on the blockchain, creating the Soul Baby token dedicated to her. Now, he named the baby girl Solana, which is coincidentally surging in popularity in America. Is it? Is Solana really becoming a popular name in the world right now? Oh my god, I'm just finding this hard to believe. But no, that's basically what happened. Like, he streamed it live. Like, won't you witness the historic moment when first Pump.Fun baby was going through? And let's see where there were more photos on it. Yep, so a farther away image of it. I thought this was just crazy, redonkulous, and first ever baby born on Pump.Fun. So you can go watch that if you want to. I didn't. I just stumbled across this article and was like, what? Huh? Okay. The crypto space is weird sometimes, but I thought I'd share it with you. And then, let's see, is there anything else going on? Looks like there's a reality show to pit Twitch streamers out there against each other to win one full Bitcoin. So that's going on out there. And also looks like Uber is in the study phase of using stablecoins to lower the cost of CEO. So let's go through this article. It's going to be our final one of the evening, morning, afternoon, whenever you'll be watching this. But so let's hear about this, because that would be pretty interesting, just covering after the USDT is being seen in Bolivia. So I wonder if he'll use USDT or Circle. But Uber CEO Dara Khosrowshahi, this is called Dara. CEO Dara says the ride-sharing giant is looking at whether stablecoins can help it cut costs when moving money around the world. So ride-sharing giant Uber is in the study phase of using stablecoins to help reduce costs of moving money around the world, says its CEO Dara Khosrowshahi. Now, Khosrowshahi said on a stage at the Bloomberg Tech Summit in San Francisco on June 5th that Uber is definitely going to take a look at stablecoins. We're still in a study phase, I'd say, but stablecoin is one of the, for me, more interesting stations of crypto that has practical benefits other than crypto being store of value, he said. Now, obviously, you can have your opinions on Bitcoin, but it's proven commodity, and people have different opinions on where it's going, he added. Now, stablecoins are a type of cryptocurrency aiming to mirror the value of traditional currencies, most commonly the US dollar, and they're typically backed by reserves of cash and short-term government bonds. Khosrowshahi said that the stablecoins are super interesting to us, primarily as payment vehicles for transporting money. Now, I do think that stablecoin is quite promising, especially for global companies that are moving money around globally to create a mechanism for us to essentially reduce costs in terms of moving money internationally, he said. Now, stablecoin interests are on the rise. Other companies and even banks have been increasingly interested in using stablecoins in some form of business. In May, co-founder and president of the payment giant Stripe, John Collision, said in an interview with Bloomberg that his company had been in early discussions with banks about potentially integrating stablecoins. Meanwhile, a May 14th report from the enterprise-grade digital asset platform Fireblocks found that 90% of institutional players surveyed are exploring the use of stablecoins in their operations. Now, countries are also showing interest in stablecoins. A Russian financial ministry official floated a plan for the government to develop its own stablecoin on April, while a trio of major Abu Dhabi institutions teamed up to create a new dirham peg stablecoin in the same month. Now, the market cap of the US dollar denominated stablecoin has continued to grow, crossing $230 billion in April, as a report from the investment bank giant Citigroup, and they found this by making an increase of 54% since last year, with Tether and USDC dominating 90% of the market. Now, the total stablecoin volumes hit $27.6 trillion in 2024, surpassing the combined volumes of Visa and MasterCard by 7.7%. And at the same time, data from Artemis shows that $94.2 billion in stablecoin transactions were settled between January 2023 and February 2025. So stablecoins are being used, and they're kind of being a little bit more favorable than the traditional systems, MasterCard and Visa, because as we saw from the 2024 numbers, we have surpassed it and people utilizing it more. Now, we will see stablecoins get integrated with MasterCard and Visa out there, but again, this just shows us that stablecoins and crypto are being adopted. People are looking to use something else to just save some money in ways they can, because the traditional system costs us money every little bit of the way. We're going to charge you this percentage on that. Oh, you want to move money over? Let's put a fee on that. Versus just moving crypto around. It's just that standard gas fee, unit fee that you got to pay to move the coins across the chain. And that's it. It's a lot cheaper than traditional systems out there. But yeah, so stable coins are killing it. Bitcoin is killing it. What's going on with Trump and Elon? I don't know. I just got to wait on that one. But everything's going great right now. Markets are looking green, even in the altcoin space. Fartcoin is up. Kaya 21. Ray. So yeah. So I'm having some separate thoughts now too, speaking with Heidi and everything. And I gained multiple thoughts. Like at first I thought, yeah, the bull run got postponed, which it still kind of did. I was thinking we were going to have a year run of Bitcoin and then altcoins. Heidi believes that like once Bitcoin reaches like that $115,000, $125,000 range, then we're going to start seeing that trickle down alt. So yeah, we still may be getting our altcoin season sometime soon. Just again, pay attention to Bitcoin's price. If we're in the 115, 120, let's take a look at what the altcoins do with that. So everybody have a fabulous Monday morning. I will be back tomorrow at noon with some more news. And yeah, take care, guys. Peace. I love you and have a great day.
In a world where your data is constantly under attack, one company stands for your digital freedom. Introducing Calyx Solutions, your gateway to ultimate online privacy and secure cryptocurrency trading. Meet the Liberty Laptop. With its modified OS and advanced tracking prevention, it's your shield against surveillance. Access restricted areas, use recommended security software, and browse with confidence. Your digital footprint? Virtually non-existent. For the crypto pros, we present the Crypto Laptop. Pre-configured on premium hardware for secure trading. Optimized for your favorite wallets and exchanges, it's the fortress your digital assets deserve. Both laptops come with expert individual training and support. You're never alone in your journey to digital empowerment. At Calyx Solutions, we put you in control. No more worrying about data breaches or compromised transactions. Ready to join the revolution? Visit calyxsolutions.io and choose your perfect laptop today. Plus, become an affiliate and earn while sharing the power of digital freedom. Calyx Solutions. Unlock your digital freedom. Give us a call or text at 702-845-8276 or visit us directly at calyxsolutions.io.